Yeah, here we go. So I got to dig it up here, but it was should MLB bring ABS into the MLB next year?
And
What
if
are
you're not
your
familiar with this, if you're not familiar with ABS, this is the system literally in the minor leagues where the pitcher, the catcher, the hitter can literally just tap their helmet and or hat and ask for the umpire, ask for electronic review. Nick put a video up of it live at whatever game you were at a couple weeks ago,
Durham
um,
Bulls?
on the Durham Bulls game on our Facebook page, and literally the whole process took like less than 10 seconds. They got the call right and they moved on.
Yeah.
It was
Uh,
amazing.
so what happens is each team gets 3 challenges during the game. If you're right on your challenge, you retain it. If you're wrong, you lose it. So if you're wrong 3 times, you're done with challenges for the game. So it doesn't add another 45 minutes onto the game. Like you're not challenging every pitch. You
Yeah,
can't.
you're not challenging a 1-0 fastball. Like you're
No.
challenging pitches worth challenging.
Right. So we did have it was pretty split right down the middle here. So we got 14 yes, 13 no.
Wow.
So pretty split. What's your take on it?
I mean, if they're not gonna do anything to change the umpires or to improve that, then that you owe it to the players to have a backup. If I mean, we'll pick on Angel Hernandez for a minute, although he just retired. Wyatt Langford takes 3 straight sliders, 5-6 inches off the plate, gets rung up. ABS would have fixed at least the last one to give the kid a chance to hit, but effectively Angel Hernandez took the bat out of his hand.
Yeah.
Like if you're not gonna safeguard a player from getting completely robbed of an at bat by holding these guys to a higher standard, ranking them, and things like that, then you owe them a backup plan to safeguard them from getting absolutely hosed. Because too many times and I'm not even saying like you miss a ball an inch or two off the plate. Yeah, okay. That's easy to miss. But 5 or 6 inches off the plate is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like
That
you need to give these guys a backup to save themselves and save their at bat. That's why I think MLB needs to bring this in.
Yeah, that to me, it's not the borderline ones because listen, we've seen enough baseball where umpires are consistently, 1 to 2 inches off the plate. They're given that call. Okay, batters make that adjustment. It's the egregious ones, like you just said. You give me 6 to 8 inches off the plate being called a strike. Like,
Yeah,
come on, dude.
come on.
Or like I brought it up a couple weeks ago, and the first pitch of the ball game is right down the
Right.
middle for ball one. Like, okay, dude, that's a challenge. That's a strike. Like,
Max Fried, 3-2 fastball down the middle, called ball 4. He unraveled after that. Bases loaded, and his whole outing was blown.
his whole season's blown. But
Well, yeah,
yeah,
now it's a different story, but
yeah, I agree.
you have to put a safeguard in place if you're not going to do anything to improve the umpires. You owe the players a plan B to make sure they're protected.
Now, Manfred did come out and say that it's not going to be ready for 2025,
Yeah, they're claiming
which,
there's still issues with it they've got to work out, which I don't know what because the minor league seems to love it, but
yeah. And honestly, it doesn't take away from the game. If anything, like more people are glued to it because they're like, oh, what is it? What
yeah,
is it?
what's going to happen?
Oh, it's a ball. Right. And it's quick. It's like the umpire stands up, mic on, batters challenging the pitch of a strike. They turn to the jumbotron. Okay, call stands.
Yeah,
Boom.
it
Back
basically
to the
plays
action.
like the K zone colored view that we see in the replay, anyways, and then they call it.
Yeah, it's literally a 7 to 8 second process. Like it was so fast that I couldn't even get. If you've seen the clip that I posted on Instagram, I couldn't even get my phone up fast enough, and I was ready to take a video. Like
Right.
I had my camera app open with my
Yep.
my thumb on the video, and I couldn't even get it up fast enough to like. And I'm obviously paying attention to the game, so it's like
Yep.
I couldn't get it up fast enough, but.
Yeah.
It's not a fast process, and like you said, it needs to.
It's not a slow process. You mean it is a fast process?
Right. Sorry,
Yep.
yeah, and it needs to be in there to protect both sides of the ball,
Yeah.
pitchers and batters.
Yep.
Because, like you said, Max Fried ended up throwing another 26 pitches to get himself out of that inning when he should have been out of it, and
Yep.
only goes 2/3 of an inning.
And the whole start gets blown up now. His stats, and the other part of it too is a lot of these guys have incentives built into their contracts to hit certain thresholds, and
and
losing an at bat or losing, getting knocked out to start early or seeing your ERA float, it starts to cost these guys money too.
yeah, and I was talking to the gym teacher at my school, Josh Trotter. We were talking about how tennis has the live, like
Yeah.
immediate,
Yep.
Like we have the technology for that. Why not use it?
Yep.
Like, and like I said, it's not the borderline pitches that I want this for. It's the egregious ones. And I understand if we put it in, you're gonna have borderline pitches challenged. That's just how it is, right?
Yeah, I mean, and
But
honestly, like one of my favorite clips of all time is Kyle Schwarber getting rung up by Angel Hernandez and him losing his mind.
it's so great.
But if you look at that pitch, it is literally like right on, it's like just a hair off the corner of the plate. Like, I'm not sympathetic to a guy who gets called out on strikes on a ball that is like shadowing the black.
Right.
You know, we were always taught if it's close, put the bat out. Don't wait for the umpire to save you. The problem with major league hitters is that these guys are expecting the umpire to call everything 100% right every single time.
Right.
They're not protecting themselves. So I'm not sympathetic to a guy who gets rung up on a call that shadows the black. But a guy like Wyatt Langford who takes a slider 6 inches off the plate, yeah, that's ridiculous.
All three were 6 inches
Yeah, all
off the
three of
plate.
them, right?
But with the Schwarber at bat, I believe it might have been his. It wasn't even the strike 3 call that he was fired up about. Was probably like the
Yeah,
strike 2 or strike 1 that already put him in that hole. Where it's just like that was just the straw that broke the camel's back.
yeah.
Like,
I just
dude,
referenced that pitch because it's the clearest one to
right,
see.
exactly. But it's like, dude, all three of those pitches were not strikes, and you're ringing me up.
Yeah,
Like that's what we need out of the game. That's not good for the game.
no,
Um,
no, you cannot have at bats like Wyatt Langford's or, I mean, Judge's the other day was pretty questionable too. But there's some just absolutely egregious calls, and I love to go to Umpire Auditor each week because they do the highlight of the 10 worst calls each week,
yeah.
and I share them to our Facebook page. Some of those are just they're so bad. Like these
Mhm.
are pitches that were it's a slider that was off the plate to start, finished off the plate, and still called a strike. Like it was never on the plate. There was never any doubt that pitch was going to be a ball, and it still gets called a strike.
And I have no problems with umpires missing calls. Listen, it's going to
Yeah,
happen. I have more respect for the umpire. I don't know if you ever saw it, but Nick Pivetta threw a pitch, umpire missed it. And when the inning was over, the umpire
yeah,
met Pivetta at the mound and was put his hand on his back and he goes, "Hey dude, I'm sorry. I missed that." Like
yep,
he took ownership for saying he missed it. Like, and I think as fans, that's all we're asking for is
yeah,
accountability. Like, hey, dude, yeah, it was right down the middle. I was, thinking about dinner tonight. I just completely missed it. Like
yep.
it happens. It
It does.
really does.
Yeah, and
Just be accountable for it.
we've never asked the umpires to be 100% on the show ever.
No,
I do not expect them to be 100%. And honestly, like if they were 100%, then you might as well just put robot umps back there. Like
yeah,
that's
right,
the human element is part of what makes baseball kind of unpredictable. But some of these calls are just so egregious that there has to be a way to fix it.
right,
And we're not saying to put this in because you want to replace the umpires. We're saying to put this in so you can fix the bad mistake when it happens. That's all.
right. And you can't. We can never go to strict robo umps.
No.
There's too, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. There's too much other things that happens on a baseball field that can't be called. Excuse me, can't be called by robots.
Yeah, it can't be done.
And but balls and strikes is something that we can fine tune. Well, I guess not even fine tune, just fix the egregious ones, I guess is
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
just put something in place so when there's a really bad call made, it can be fixed. Because even if the bad call is made and the umpire goes, "Yeah, I screwed up," you can't change the call. It's over.
Right.
This gives you an opportunity to say, "Yeah, that was a miss. Let's check it and fix it."
Yeah. 1,000%.